Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. I'm Kevin Freeman. We're joined now by head women's soccer coach Lars Anderson. Coach, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about some ladies soccer here. You're two-thirds of the way through the season. You're 8-3-1. Comment on the team at this point. What are they doing well? What are you still trying to shore up in preparation for the back end of the Peach Belt schedule and the tournament?
Well, I think early in the year we got a couple of wins, actually a couple of big wins, such as the one against Columbus State, where we didn't play well. You know, that's a good problem to have, winning, but you're not playing well. But I feel like we've come along pretty well in the last couple of games, really the last 4 games, even though we dropped our weekend game against Armstrong. We're creating more. We're playing more of what we call UNCP women's soccer. We're getting back to where we need to be. So I'm excited about the process.
Well, let's talk about the last couple of games. October the 5th, you got a very nice 2-0 conference win against USC Aiken. You scored a goal very early in the game. What kind of effect can it and should it have when you are able to score a goal so early?
Well, obviously, as you know, soccer is a sport where there aren't a plethora of goals, so it is important to score early, and particularly for us, because we haven't been a high-scoring team this year. In years past, we were used to scoring 3, 4, 5 goals a game. So getting an early goal gives you a lot of confidence and gives you an ability to you know, sit back a little bit, absorb some pressure, and maybe counterattack a little bit more so than pushing forward early in the match. And it was nice to see that it was Cassie DeCay-Royce who scored that goal. She's a Western Carolina transfer who's kind of, you know, not gotten a ton of playing time early in the year, but who's coming along very, very well. She has scored in 2 out of the last 3 games and has really come into her own and kind of understood what our concept is all about, and I'm very proud of her.
You briefly mentioned the loss against Armstrong this last weekend. They got 2 on you very late, kind of just the opposite problem of the Aiken game. What would you tell your players after that game? Armstrong's a very good team.
Well, Armstrong is a very good team. We're aware of that. Obviously, they knocked us out in the second round of the national tournament this past year, and it was a very difficult loss. We were frustrated. We were angry. But I think it's important that after a loss like that, you circle the wagons and take the good and the bad. Obviously, it's not acceptable to give up 2 late goals. What was good in that game was the fact that we created a lot. We had some outstanding goal-scoring chances. Could very well have been up by a goal or 2, really at the halfway point of the game. So, you know, I try to put a positive spin on it. And sometimes you have to fake it a little bit. Obviously, you're frustrated and angry and upset after the game, but there's a lot of soccer left to be played, and we have to learn from that experience and move on from there.
It's kind of good, perhaps, in a sense that they are angry after a loss like that, because they know they can do better, right?
Sure, sure.
Well, you talked in the past about the team not being terribly efficient in the final third of the field. How do you fix that? How do you create more goal-scoring chances? What do your strikers and your attacking midfielders need to do?
Well, first off, you have to realize what the problem is, and you know, we lost Anna Svensson. She was here for 2 years and scored 30 goals in 2 seasons, decided to return to Sweden, and then we lost Rebecca Womack to a knee injury. In between the 2 of them, we lost 25 goals from last year. So it's really been a combination of us not creating opportunities and then running with a lot of young, inexperienced forwards up top. But I feel like we addressed that in practice. We've tried a couple of different combinations, and I think we found one that we really like. And we work a lot of passing patterns in training, and I feel like we're headed in the right direction.
You've got another big Peach Belt game coming up on Wednesday against a 3-9 Georgia College team. We know that nothing in the Peach Belt is easy, of course, and a 3-9 record doesn't really mean anything. What do the Lady Braves need to do to get the 3 points against the Lady Bobcats?
Well, I think that'll be a difficult game. They are 3-9, but they played a very, very tough schedule, and they have been in every game. I think, again, it's important that we come out to a good start. It is important that we're efficient in the final third, and it's important that we stick to our game plan. If we do, I believe we'll come out victorious.
Okay, well, after that, you have a very quick turnaround. You've got a weekend game against Clayton State on the road. They're 6-5. They're a team that is right next to you guys in the Peach Belt standings. You're going to be fighting for seeding, fighting for position, I assume. What do you know about the Lady Lakers at this point? Are we too far? Are we getting too far ahead of ourselves?
Well, no, I think we're keeping our eye on them. They have a new coach this year, Gareth O'Sullivan, who's an outstanding coach. Has actually won a D2 national championship at Christian Brothers a couple of years back. He's got a lot of young players, a lot of new players, a lot of international kids. But they're gelling, they're getting better results, and clearly we have a lot of respect for them. It's a road game. and we need to make sure that we bring our A game if we want to come home with the 3 points.
Is it too early in the season for you to start thinking about seeding, or is it is it running through your head a little bit?
Well, I mean, I have to be honest with you, Kevin. Obviously, you don't want to, because we still have 4 games left. That's a potential 12 points. But sure, at times you look a little bit at the standings and you try to figure out who might beat whom and so on and so forth. But it is probably a little early.
All right, we're going to take our next break. We're going to come back and talk a little more to Coach Anderson about the upcoming Peach Belt schedule.